Okay, hello, it's 8:30, November 25th, 2020, and welcome to the weather update. And just a kind of gray, kind of mild day across the area right now. Looking at some of the temperatures, you will see temperatures around 50 degrees, so we are above normal once again. Uh, 45 in West Hampton, 54 in the city. Temperatures generally 50, generally in the 50s, maybe a couple of 40s here and there, but it was a mild day today when we look at the high temperatures across the area. Above normal once again. Highs in the mid 50s, even some upper 50s of 58 in West Hampton, 55 in the city. So generally mid 50s pretty much everywhere. Some upper 50s also in New Jersey. Looking at the satellite, you'll see here comes the next frontal system that we're going to be dealing with. This is a cold front, and it is moving. It looks like it's moving at a fairly good pace, which is good. That means that the rain we'll be dealing with will hopefully get in and out of here for tomorrow as well. If we go ahead and look at the CONUS satellite view, you should get to see what's going on across the whole country. You will see there is that huge storm system there. It's a huge storm system. You can see just across the whole eastern part here. You can see this, and there is that trailing cold front with showers and even some thunderstorms along that cold front as well. And we're going to go and look at the radar. We'll use the Ventu Sky to look at the radar to show you the view here. And I'll also use this to talk about the chance for thunderstorms tomorrow as well. So we look at the radar. There's nothing on the radar right now, but if we pull out and look at the whole country, you will see here is the cold front. You can actually see two lines, one line here and then another one over here. The main thing we're going to be... Whoa, what happened here? All right. Pull that out a little more. We're going to be looking at the chance possibly of thunderstorms tomorrow. So let me go to the SPC here, and we'll look at the Storm Prediction Center, and we'll take a look and see if there are any threats for tomorrow. Yeah, there actually is a marginal risk of severe weather in the interior part of the Appalachian Range, around the Appalachian Range area for today. For tomorrow, let's see if they have for tomorrow. This is the day 2. Looks like we're also in a marginal. Are we in a marginal? Oh, we're just in the thunderstorm threat. But again, we could see more chances for thunderstorms again tomorrow. This is unusual to see in November. But again, it's all because of that, warm, humid air that is going to be brought up the coast ahead of this cold front that's going to bring this, this chance again for thunderstorms. And I believe it has been a fairly wet month too across the area. So I want to actually look at the climate for the local past. I'm just curious about how much rain has fallen at Islip so far this month, because I'm pretty sure we're above normal with that. So precipitation, it says month to date 2.46, or actually a little below normal, surprisingly. So actually only 2.46 at Islip. I'm surprised. I don't know if it's just all missing islip or whatnot. Let me see the JFK. Because I could swear it rained more this month. I really did. But, and this isn't loading. It's nice. We'll try it again. There we go. So, month to date, no. Just slightly below normal, believe it or not. I guess it just seems like it's been a rainy month. Anyway, going back to the Ventu Sky, we're going to look at the thunderstorm threat for tomorrow. And again, it's because of the Cape that we're going to be seeing tomorrow. So we're going to look at the Cape first, and you'll see that there's some decent Cape offshore. So whether that gets in here, this is around, it looks like the worst of it stays offshore. But it's close enough. But if we look at the lifted index, I think that's where we're going to see some more elevated numbers. So here's 7 a.m., 10 a.m. Looks like the strongest lifting stays offshore. This is 1 p.m., 3 p.m., and then by later on, it's moving out. As you can see here, this is later in the end. You can clearly see the cold front right here. But again, ahead of that cold front, there could be some thunderstorms, and we're going to get into all of this. So let's go ahead and look at the upper air pattern first, and then we'll piece this puzzle together, and we are going to see a change in the pattern. As well, hopefully it's still there. Hopefully this change is still there. So looking right now, you can see you got this like cutoff low. It doesn't really have any. It's not really attached to any cold air. So this cold front isn't really going to have any cold air behind it. It's just going to be drier air, but it's still going to be warm. So here's that impulse moving through for tomorrow. It's fine, kind of weak, but the air that we're dealing with is kind of humid, so it could touch off some thunderstorms and showers, some of which could be heavy. That moves on by. We get the ridge, and then another trough swings through on Saturday, and then another. This is where you get this broad cutoff, and it's very deep. So you get this broad cutoff trough that's very deep. That's going to be hanging out over the air over the southeast for Tuesday, and then moving up to our area Wednesday. And then you see it's got a negative tilt to it. So this is going to mean things are going to get colder and stormier with this kind of pattern in the east. And you can see some more low pressure systems moving along. So we do have troughing in the east. And as we get into next week, the second week of December, we start seeing the possibility for some really cold air, some Arctic air coming down. Because if you look at the isobars, you'll see following them up, you see that they're coming right from Canada. So that means we're going to get some cold air finally. And we should, as we get into December after all. If you want it to feel like the holidays, it needs to be cold. So we do have that. So we're definitely getting rid of this zonal pattern. We're evolving into a different pattern, fortunately. And if we look at the jet stream, you will see that. So here we go. So here's the jet stream. And you can see what happens. You have a split jet, but you start seeing some troughs develop. You see that? It's still kind of wavy, though. Still very wavy, but you do have some troughs that will develop and help bring some cold air in to the lower 48, especially the east. So if you like the cold, it's very good. So let's go to the surface. So looking at the surface, you will see here, and I know I could have looked at the Euro too, but I'm just going to use the GFS. Because the GFS has, I think, done a pretty good job. So you'll see tomorrow we have that chance of showers. That chance ends by the evening, and then we have dry weather Friday, Saturday, with that weak high pressure moving in, and then we have this big storm system coming up. And this is going to have a lot of rain with it, and we may be dealing with some of that rain Monday, especially later Monday night. Heavy rain. It's a big slug of just land. Look at how tight those isobars are, so you know it's also going to be accompanied by some strong winds. And then it lifts out by Tuesday, but we're still going to have another chance of rain Wednesday. Unfortunately, with this cutoff low, it's going to keep the rain chance, maybe even a snow shower chance, and it's going to take all week to move that cutoff low away. And once it finally moves away, you can see we're in a tight northwest flow, and that's going to set things up for the cold air, especially with this other low that's going to form. And this could actually bring some snow to areas to the north and the west, perhaps. But you can see a definitely colder and stormier pattern, and that means more cold air coming in. And then as you get into that second week of December, there's that big high building in with some cold air. But unfortunately, before we get there, we're going to have to deal with a lot of unsettled weather because of the cutoff low situation. So we're going to look at the temperatures, temperature anomaly. So this will show you what's going to be happening, and you'll be able to see the cold air coming. So we stay kind of above normal, but then here comes, this is the cutoff down here, which means you could just clearly see how cold it is. It's going to bring a lot of cold air to the south. It's going to be pretty chilly there, but we still stay above normal until we get into that second week of December, and then you start seeing that cold air coming down from Canada. So let's go take a closer look at our area here, and we'll start with the temperatures. Well, actually, we'll start with the precipitation first. So let me go to the precipitation here, and we're going to look at some, because we'll have an idea of how things are going to work for tomorrow. And let's use the NAM. We'll start with the NAM 12 kilometer. It's the 18Z run. So this is the NAM, and the rain should start in the morning, probably after 6 a.m. Some of it could be heavy, and then we start to get rid of it by the afternoon. It looks like, according to the NAM, we should be done by most of it by after 2 or 3 o'clock, it should dry out, fortunately. And then we have this high build in here, as you see, and that'll bring us some decent weather for the weekend, but above normal. That's the NAM. Let's look at the HRRR. Alright, we have 23 hours of the HRRR 0Z running, so let's take a look at this. And you'll see again that rain, and some of it could be heavy. You can see those yellow spots. They could be thunderstorms, perhaps. They are right around, looks like right around late morning. Has late morning to early afternoon has a couple of thunderstorms, and then finally gets rid of it by like 3-4 o'clock. We're finally done with it. But again, we could see a decent amount of rain from this. So let's take a look and see the total accumulated precip from the so we could see, depending on where the storms hit and who gets them, where they hit, they could be an inch or more, perhaps even isolated 2-inch amounts. But where they don't hit, you might only get a half an inch of rain. This is what the NAM looks like here, and we'll do the. I mean, that's what the HRRR looks like. Let's go to the NAM. That was the HRRR. This is the NAM, and not quite as the NAM is a little more general. But it depends where this is on. The NAM seems to want to have it heavier stuff a little more to the east and affecting the east end, whereas the HRRR seems to have it more over New York City and Nassau. But any one of us could get into the heavier rain. It all depends on who gets the thunderstorms or showers. Yes, and I said there could be a chance of a thunderstorm tomorrow on Thanksgiving, which is pretty crazy when you think about it. So let's go back to the GFS here. And we will go ahead and look at our temperatures, because we're also going to be seeing that warm air coming in. In fact, let's look at this warm air coming in on the HRRR. Actually, this is a high resolution, so we get to see it come in. So you can see that warm air comes surging in. Temperatures are going to surge into the 60s, perhaps, in New Jersey. Maybe somebody might even hit 70. You never know. For Long Island, will probably be around the 60-degree mark. And then it moves offshore. And this is going to be humid air. You can see, though, it starts dropping, though, by later in the afternoon into the evening. But it's also going to be humid air, too. So I want to look at the dew point and show you that we're going to see humidity, too, with this. So it's going to be quite humid. Dew point's close to 60 degrees across much of the area. So it's going to be humid. It's tropical air. It's coming right out of the tropics, and that's going to bring in some of the humidity that we're going to be dealing with, and that's what's going to help provide the fuel for some of these showers and thunderstorms that will develop. And I also want to look at FGen as well. So let me just do that as well. So this is the GFS FGen. Let's take a look and see. Doesn't look too bad. This is the GFS, though. I'd rather look at the NAM. So you can see some isolated clusters, but it's not going to be. There's not going to be a squall line. There's no indication that we're going to see that. It'll just be heavy showers and thunderstorms, but not in a line. Okay, so let me go back to the GFS here. And we'll go back and we'll start looking at the temperatures again. Actually, we'll go back to the dew points. So, drier air comes in, dew points drop by Friday night. Friday should have comfortable dew points. Saturday, Sunday, we won't have to deal with any humidity. But here comes the humidity with that next system, with that negative tilt, and that. I mean, look at this low-level jet here that's developing offshore here. This is going to be really intense. It's going to mean a lot of wind too with this thing, because it could be like it could try to develop into a coastal. You have the negative tilt, so negative tilt is going to help intensify it, and that's going to bring in some of that humid air too. And you can see that humidity sits here, and then look at that strong front. You can clearly see how strong the system is as we move into Wednesday here, with still very strong south winds. And then we finally start getting it out by the end of the week, and then we start getting that colder air, drier air. We'll look at the temperatures here. So as we head into tomorrow afterward, and look at how warm it could get over here. It could get really warm in New Jersey tomorrow. I think they could wind up hitting 70 degrees in Jersey tomorrow if conditions are right. And then for Friday, we're still above normal. mid to upper 50s, maybe 60 degrees. Lows at night dropping back into the around 40 degrees, and then during the day Saturday, we'll see the highs still a little bit above normal, mid 50s. Getting close to normal on Sunday, temperatures dropping a little more, and then here comes that surge of warm air that is going to come up ahead of that next system Monday. Monday night is going to be Monday night into early Tuesday is going to be very stormy, and then another warm one Tuesday, and then look at that, that's really unusual to see a front oriented like that. That's a real negative tilt right there, and then you see that drier air try to get in here finally, but that could be a nice little squall line right there. I'm wondering if we could look at the FGen for that. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that. So there you go. This could be some really heavy precipitation with this. This is going to be a very interesting storm for next week, for sure. It's going to be pretty intense. So that's pretty much what it looks like into next week. When we go back to the temperatures here, we'll show you how it drops as we get rid of this mess, and it finally moves on out of here. Things will start dropping. Friday, we're close to average, the highs in the upper 40s. Saturday, upper 40s. But here comes the plunge as we head into Sunday. Temperatures only around 40, and then look at this. We get into Monday. Temperature's going to be struggling to reach the 40-degree mark. This is the second week of December now, and here comes the plunge. 30s perhaps, December 8th, 9th, and look at that. Maybe not even out above freezing on the 9th. So we're going to get some really good plunges coming in here as we get into the second week of December, and it'll start feeling more like the holidays, because right now it's just too warm. It just does not feel like the holidays at all. So let's go look at the skies. We'll see if we can get rid of the clouds. It looks like we'll get rid of the clouds for Friday, and we'll hopefully maybe have a mostly sunny day, hopefully, which would be nice. We'll see more clouds again on Saturday, it looks like. And then Sunday, it looks like we'll also have a clear day as well. We'll get rid of the clouds. And then after that, we're dealing with that system that's going to sit over us and keep us relatively unsettled. And we'll have more of an idea about how that's all going to pan out as we get into the weekend. But that looks like quite a stormy week next week with that storm there. Let me look at the NAM model as well with the clouds. So this is the NAM model. Not quite as bullish about Friday being a mostly sunny day. It has a lot more clouds over us. Maybe overdone. Look at the RGM. Unfortunately, though, the NAM was right the last time. You know, with yesterday, with being more clouds around. So, Friday, RGM seems to develop some clouds too. We'll have to see. Probably a better bet of a clear day on Sunday, perhaps. Hopefully we get a clear day, because once we're after that, then we're dealing with this cutoff situation, and you know, and cutoff lows. Then they cut off from the main flow. They can take a while, and if we look at the total accumulated precip, I can go all the way out to the end of this, and you'll see how much we could wind up getting, depending on where it hits. So where the heaviest stuff hits, it could be, you know, this is the total out to December 11th. So it all depends on where it hits, but look at that. Look at that stuff offshore. A foot of rain, perhaps. You know, it's incredible. It really is incredible. Let me go to look at the after we're done with this. All right, so let me just go ahead and look and see the HRRR again. We got a little more of it in here for tomorrow here. I also want to look at the wind too for tomorrow, because we may have some breezy conditions with some of those showers. Nothing that's going to require a wind advisory, though, I don't think. Okay, let me go to the Climate Prediction Center. So we'll go look at the CPC, because things are starting to look a little different. Here's the 6 to 10 day, and you can see it's only above normal now in the extreme northeast, and the south is very much below normal. And then if we go to the 8 to 10, look at that. We see that below normal starting getting closer to us. So, and we look at the week 3 to 4. They do still have it as above average on the 3 to 4. And if we look at the 1 month outlook, it still has the temperature above normal. But we're going to see some cooler weather coming as we get into the second week of December. And hopefully that doesn't coincide with any shutdowns, hopefully, because it's going to be cold. and too cold to eat outside. Weather prediction. What am I looking at here? We'll look at the weather prediction, and then we're going to look at the. So here again, I just want to show you how everything is. So this is the system that's coming our way. See that warm front? That's going to pass through in the morning. That's going to bring the humidity up. And then this cool front, and I say cool front because it's really more of a dry front, will pass through in the afternoon tomorrow. So I just want to look at the ice, the state of the ice situation, and then we'll wrap up this weather update. I gotta find it. Here it is. So we're going to go ahead and look at the Arctic sea ice situation and see what's going on with that. The last update was still November 4th, really. All right, well, ocean waves in November in the Arctic. So we're still below normal here. Let's look at the chart. We see some recovery now starting, it looks like, but man, we were the lowest. See, we're all the way at the bottom here. Look at that. So from October 1st to probably the beginning of November, we had record low sea ice for this time of the year. That's incredible. And this is what I mean. This is very disturbing. And it's just another sign of the climate changing. So that's going to wrap up this weather update. Take care. Thank you for watching. And, of course, have a happy Thanksgiving.